Okay, so this is one idea and how to deal with different level of students when you're teaching them some type of process. Now I'd like to turn to exercises, like the things we commonly find in course books. And I'll show you what we can do with that when we have mixed ability classes. And the solution is that the teacher will create what we call mirror tasks. So the course book, let me give you an example. Course book, here's just an example of a typical course book. We'll have some exercises for the students to do. Read the passage, tick true or false. Here's some others. Complete the sentences, match the question with the answer, listen and circle the right words, and then tell a story. I chose this because it's a very typical type of activity you'll find in a language course book. If you teach social studies, the concept's not that different, or health. Read the passage, answer the question. Even if you teach math, it's not that different. Look at the examples, solve the problems. Okay? So basically all course books in all subjects, maybe with the exclusion of music and art, will follow this type of format. So the solution is to create mirror tasks. A mirror task is a task that is similar to what's in the course book, but it is a little bit more difficult, or it's a little bit easier. Now, I'm assuming that if this is like any other Thai school, one of your big complaints is going to be that the course books are too difficult. Does anybody here work with a course book they think that is too easy for their students? One person. Anybody here work with a course book that they think is actually too difficult for the majority of the students? Okay. The rest of you have course books that are perfect for the level, or you're just too shy to say anything? Smiles on your face means it's the second answer. Too difficult? Okay.
Very difficult, because we don't have textbooks.
You don't have textbooks, so you make up your own materials?
Yes, because it's social studies is in Thai.
Okay. And so you teach Thai history in English and Thai social studies in English, is that right? Okay.
The other problem is like when you ask your students to come up with answering the questions related to the concept that you taught in our class, students are totally lacking the ability to answer application-oriented questions. They've shown the examples, they've shown how to solve it, but then when a similar situation is there and the exercise, you can't really apply.
Yes, yes.
Those are really making.
Good. Remember that and remind me, because I do want to touch upon that. Okay, it's going to be related. What about you? Are the course books too easy, too difficult? Yes, dear?
For me, actually, I have the same problem like the student. Actually, I just want to ask, in Thailand, do we have like a standard textbook for Chinese students? I don't think they have, because I saw them and it's something different with the like government school and the international school.
Right.
And international school, mostly we have to choose the textbook by ourselves, and we use maybe 70% use the core curriculum from the government, and another 30% we have to make it or create it by ourselves, and
Okay.
with some reference. And here is some difficult, like the students based on the different English understand, English
Right.
level, and you have to use the English to teach them another language,
Right.
and they know not the language such as Chinese or Japanese, they are zero level.
Okay.
So that is the problem.
Right. I'll tell you the solution. My sons are studying Chinese at a Singaporean school, and they don't speak Chinese, so Chinese is their third language. look at the books that come from Singapore. Some are good, some are bad, but they have no English in them. Very, very simple Chinese. Nida mama, nida baba, eat or some things like that, okay? Very, very simple things.
But I want to add one more point. That is, the Singaporeans textbook is better for the international student to use. But actually, it's focused nowadays. Recently, because I searched and I used and borrowed from Max before, and I think that kind of level for the Thai Chinese student is too difficult.
Oh yes.
Because over there they focus on English and Chinese education, so maybe the same level, age level, have to face the different level, study level.
Right. So I would advise you to look at the books that come from Singapore and also the books that are made for beginning speakers of Chinese from Taiwan. Some of those are quite good. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So here is the concept. The teacher creates activities which are very similar to what's in the textbook. So you're following the textbook, but the activities will either be easier or more difficult. If your course book is too difficult, then the activities that you create will be easier. Okay? If the course book is too easy, the activities that you create will be harder. And what I would like you to do is I'm going to give you this handout, and I want you to look at it and think about how you could create your own activities to make them either easier or more difficult. Now let's look at the real world. The real world is, how many hours a week do you spend in the classroom teaching? So let's just say 15 as an average? Okay. How much time in reality do you spend preparing and marking exams and all that? About the same. So 15 hours of instruction, 15 hours of a week. Okay, fine. So what you want to do is when you create these mere activities, you want to create things that are not going to take much time. You don't want to increase your prep time from 15 hours to 40 hours. That's not very realistic. But so what we want to do is create activities that are not going to take much time. Now this page here has 4 activities. If I was going to create mere activities, I would not create mere activities for all 4 activities. I would only do it for 1 or 2 of the activities. And then next semester, next year, when I teach the course again, I would make mere activities for the remaining 1 or 2 activities. Okay? If 2 teachers teach the same subject with the same book, then it's much easier. You can split the work between you. I don't know if it works that way at your school. Probably not, because you're probably too small for that. I'm going to give one handout for every group of 2 or 3 people. One per table. We'll go over it very quickly. The first section is a typical story done as a dialogue. And the first activity is tick true or false for these 6 statements. On the second page, students are focusing on the adjectives, hungry, thirsty, tired, scared, and they look at the pictures, they fill in the missing words. The next page, the next activity, there are some questions and answers. They match the two. Over here, the students listen to the CD-ROM and they circle the correct answers to this correct phrases that complete the sentence. And the last part is they use their memory to retell the story. Now, altogether there are, let's see, about 5 activities. Well, the first one is really just reading, so I don't count that as an activity. So there's 5 activities, and I want, there could be 6, we can do that. Just choose 2, any 2 you like. And think about how to create something that focuses on the same language point, but is a little bit more difficult or a little bit easier. If you're an English teacher and you think that would be too difficult for your students, then focus on something how to make it easier. If you don't know, just guess, it doesn't matter.